ABC News correspondent. Good morning. Ryan, thanks for checking in.
Good morning. Yeah, well, no hockey celebrations in Chicago this year. And the Bulls, well, we'll worry about them another time. So Loyola has provided us this nice gap leading up into the baseball season. And, boy, for people who were not aware of Loyola University in Chicago, I mean, let's face it, if there was a basketball school in Chicago, it would be DePaul, right? Everyone wants to see DePaul doing well. But Loyola has come out of nowhere and stunned not only Chicago but the country. They're still dancing. Sister Jean's still dancing. Yesterday, there were thousands of people that showed up to the Gentile Center to welcome Loyola as they returned. They prep now for next weekend, taking on Michigan.
Now, I know how big a front-runner Cub fans are and how big a front-running city Chicago is, so I can only imagine how many Loyola fans that have been around for the last 2 weeks.
You got it, man. Jump on the bandwagon. Let's face it, everyone's bracket is busted at this point, right? I mean, you might as well root for something. And here's an interesting thing that I wanted to point out. We just got this overnight last night. The Sister Jean bobblehead. Sister Jean is their 98-year-old chaplain. If you've watched any of the games, you've seen her featured pretty prominently. She's done a ton of interviews. The Sister Jean bobblehead is now the best-selling bobblehead of all time, according to the National Bobblehead Museum in Milwaukee. They say they sold 5,000 Sister Jean bobbleheads in a span of 48 hours.
Where can you get the Sister Jean bobblehead?
Well, I'm glad you asked. You can go to the National Bobblehead Museum website. Just Google it. I don't know. It's somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what the cost is. Probably like $20, something like that.
It's well worth it. You know what? It's a great story. Mo Valley. You're right, though. DePaul's got to be licking their chops, a little jealous, right? They haven't been anything for the last number of years.
Yeah, that's we've been craving some kind. I mean, I can't tell you how many years we've gone with it. I mean, unless Illinois is in the tournament. I mean, Northwestern was in it last year, but this city's been craving some kind of college basketball program to put up on a pedestal, and it's been a very, very long time. What's interesting is Loyola did win the national title back in 1963, and if you go to the Gentile Center, that trophy is shoved over in a corner of a glass case with that the lock key, and it's kind of old and worn, and not nearly the pomp and circumstance around the last decades of trophies. And they're looking to add to it, but it's kind of an interesting story.
It's a great story. Ryan, have yourself a good day. Happy if we don't talk, happy opening day to you this week.
You too. We'll talk.